Hello everyone, it's me Jennifer with Jennifer's Sewing and Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to make a zipper bag just like this. We're going to start with shortening a zipper, then we're going to sew zipper tabs and construct the bag. So I will show you our supplies. We're going to have a zipper a little bit larger than what we need for the project. You're going to need a zipper foot. You're going to need a straight stitch foot. You're going to need a needle and a thread. You're going to need a pencil so you can mark on your zipper where we're going to cut it. You're going to need 2 pieces of lining fabric. These are each 6 inches by 9 inches. There's a big piece of lint. We have 2 pieces that are 3 inches by 9 inches. Then we have 2 orange pieces that are 3.5 by 9 inches. And then we have 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 3 inches. And these will be for your zipper tabs when we shorten the zipper. You're going to need straight pins. You're going to need some kind of an item to push out the corners when we turn the bag backside the right way. And, of course, a pair of scissors. First, we're going to start with your zipper. Our project is 9 inches. We have a 12-inch zipper. So how are we going to make a 12-inch zipper fit on a project that is 9 inches? First, we're going to take our zipper. We're going to line it with the top. Okay. And we will make our marks right here. Hope you can see that okay. And marking the zipper to where it's going to be right at the edge of where our fabric ends. And then let's mark it at the top and the bottom. Okay, and you can see the 2 marks here and here. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut just right on those marks. Okay, this little piece is not a big deal. Okay, so now you see our zipper will fit perfectly. So what we're going to do now, since we cut the end of the zipper off, what you want to do is you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to put a little stitch just right here across the zipper, and what that's going to do is prevent the zipper from coming undone. Okay. Oops. Pull it all the way through. Okay. So leave a little tail on that side so we can knot it. Bring it back through. So you got your 2. We're going to put a knot in that. And you just need 1 stitch. You don't need to do more than that. It will be sewn over, so it will. Okay. So just like that. Oops, another frame. You just got 1 little stitch across it, and that's going to hold the zipper together while we sew. Clip the excess thread off. Needle aside. And you'll see on this end, I already put some stitches already in it here. And that's just to hold the top of the zipper together because it does flare. Okay. My zipper won't. Why won't my zipper unzip? Uh-oh, there we go. That would have been bad. Okay. Now we're going to take our 2 pieces of fabric for our zipper tabs. Okay, and what we're going to do is you're going to take the first one, fold it in half, just kind of like finger press it, open it back up, take one side, fold it up to that fold, finger press it, take the next part, fold it down and finger press it, and then fold it back on the original fold, and just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other one. You're going to fold it in half, finger press it, fold the side in half, or up to that middle line. This one down, finger press it, and then fold it back in half. Like so. Got a little piece of length off there. And there is a zipper tab. And how we attach these is you're going to take your zipper that you shortened and you're going to line it right up. This is the reason why I like making my pieces 2 inches by 3 inches. You're going to have extra fabric on each side, and that's just so you can line it up and it gives you a little bit more room to sew. Okay, just like that. And what we're going to do, get a couple pins. Can't open my pin box today, my fingers don't want to work right. So you're going to line that right up. You could even kind of put right in there like so. And I keep on making it crooked for something. Let's just nip off that little edge. Maybe that's what's doing it. I didn't get it quite straight. And to put it down. I'm going to take your pin, pin it right in there like that. And that's just so this doesn't come loose while we're sewing the tab. Okay, so there's that one. And you're going to flip it around and you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And you'll notice that is right along where the zipper ends. Lay that back down flat. We can pin it, hold it down. Okay, and you'll see that it's nice and pinned on there. We're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew that. Let me adjust the camera and I will be right back. Okay, now we're back. I adjusted the camera so we can see this machine. I have it pre-threaded with matching navy blue thread. This is where your straight stitch is going to come in. Snap it right on. Adjust your thread. See this? Okay, so what you're going to want to do is when you start sewing your zipper, you're going to want to unzip it just a little bit. I keep forgetting that these are locking zippers. That's why I'm having such a difficult time. So what you're going to do is you're going to place it right underneath. This is why another reason why I like just your zipper tabs just to be a little bit longer, because what it does is it gives you a little bit of extra room to start your stitches, so you don't have to start right directly on the zipper. I'm going to set my stitch. Okay. Place my needle down. And start stitching straight across. Okay. And there we go. We have our first zipper tab attached. You can clip our little threads if you wish. You can zip it back up. Take your 2 pins out. Switch it and do your next side. Okay. And there is your next zipper tab. Okay. Take your pins out. Now what you want to do is you want to take your scissors and you're going to trim, oops, sorry, I hit the camera. You're going to want to trim the edges of your zipper tabs so they are even, because you do not want all this excess bulk. So we're going to trim those right off. That one. And that one. So you've got a nice, neat zipper tab. Do the other end. That one. And that one. Get a little crooked on that one, but that's okay. I'm going to toss these little pieces. I'm going to reset the camera and then we will show you how you put your zipper into your bag. Okay, so now that we have our zipper done, we're going to set that there. In this case, we have 2 different pieces of fabric, the solid and the orange. And I like doing 2-tone bags. It just kind of jazzes them up a little. What we're going to want to do is you take one, lay it over the top, and it doesn't matter which side. Okay, so you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam from here to here, and then you'll do the same with the second piece. Line those up. I will show you how to do that. Let's move. Adjust the camera again, and okay, so what we're going to do now is you're going to do a 1/4 inch stitch from one edge to the next. I'm going to place it right under the needle. Hold onto your thread tails so they don't get caught up underneath as you start your stitching. Okay, here's your first one. I'm going to open it up, press your seam, just like so. You can finger press that. And you'll notice I do have a little bit excess on the edge. That's okay, we can always trim that. Let's sew our second piece. Hold on to your threads again. Open that one up. Oops. Finger press it there a little bit. Let me adjust the camera one more time. Okay, so now you see we got our 2 pieces here. What we're going to do is I'm going to take them, I'm going to close them back up. I'm going to take these 2 mice iron and I'm going to press my seams open so they lay nice and flat. Let's do that real quick. Okay, there's that one. I pressed it open so the seam lays nice and flat, just like that. do the other one real quick. What this is also going to do when you press your seam, there we go. Those are both nice and pressed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our zipper and we're going to sew it into our bag. Now how you want to do that is you're going to take your lining fabric first. You're going to lay it flat. And if you're doing a directional fabric, like on this one, it's a little lighter on one side than the other. So if you're doing a fabric that has a pattern on one side and you can tell that it's definitely a two-sided fabric, you're going to want to lay the top side of the fabric up. But in my case, since I'm using solid, it doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do is you take your lining fabric, then you're going to take your zipper, line it right up to the top edge, okay, just like so. There's a little tab. I don't know if I like these locking zippers too much. Okay. Then you're going to take your top piece that will be the outside of the bag and you're going to flip it, okay? Then you're going to line it up right along the top. Make sure you don't move the zipper around too much, and you're going to take your pins pin that right, and see, I moved it. It's off on this end. I'll line that back up. Okay, so in my case, what happened is you'll notice, if you can see closely on there, my orange pieces are just a little bit shorter than my lining. That's okay. That's not a problem because we can fix that with our seam allowance as we're sewing. Okay, so that side's pinned. You want to put a couple there. Close. Okay, so now we have our pins in. We're going to take it to the sewing machine, but if you remember, we had our straight stitch foot on. Let me show you how we're going to switch the feet. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you're going to take your zipper foot and you're going to notice on your zipper foot that it has two spots where you can clip it to your machine. It'll have a left side and it'll have a right side, and it'll have a little notch here in the middle. Okay, so we're going to want to clip it to the left side, and one way you can always tell that is you can take your zipper foot and you lay it on the right side of the zipper, like so. Oops, doesn't want to stay there. Okay, so we're going to take the old one off, the other one off, clip it on, get your thread, and what you're going to do is you're going to just take it and line it up just like I showed you. And and you want it right butted up against that zipper, okay? So lower your needle, hold your thread, and let me zoom in just a little bit closer here and see if we can. I'm going to adjust the camera. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you have it underneath the zipper foot. The zipper is to the left side of the zipper foot. I've got my needle down. I'm going to slowly start. And what you want to do is once you've got a couple stitches in and you're going to leave your needle down, raise your presser foot back up. I can take this first pin out. And this is another good spot where your pusher will come in handy. You're going to want to take your zipper, take it down, ouch, poke myself with the pin, open it just a little bit, put it back down, lower the foot. Now you're going to sew right up until where you've got that zipper, the tab on the zipper. Lift it back up, open it back up, and that you can now, sometimes it's a little difficult to get in there, and you're going to want to close your zipper. Let me open that back up and show you how I did that. I can't get my fingers in there. Okay, so you'll see that our zipper is open. This is where where your pusher comes, so you can push that zipper back closed. Okay, bring your fabric back down, lower your presser foot, and continue sewing your zipper. All the way to the end. Okay? Now the reason why you want to move your zipper like that is because as you're sewing, and if you go over it, you can really break your needle easily. I've had that happen a couple times when I was first learning how. Take my pins out, open it up, and you can see that we have our first side of our bag done. Okay, let me adjust the camera again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you're going to take your next lining piece, you're going to lay it down, going to take it this way, going to lay it down, just like we did the first piece. You're going to say, well, isn't this going to mess it up? No. You'll notice that this is the first side. Then we're going to again take and turn it inside out. So you'll know it's right if you have a seam. Okay. Pin it again. And there's a little stubborn there, didn't want to go through. Okay, now we're going to take it back to the machine. Okay, so now we're going to place it under the zipper foot again. Line it right up with the edge like we did last time. Right under there. Put it flush right up against, so it's right nudged up against that bump of that zipper. So lower your foot. Hang on to your thread tails. Hot there just a little bit. I can take the pin out. And right up against that zipper. Take this pin. Okay, now we're right up against the zipper tab again, right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to raise our foot again. We're going to open the zipper again. You can take your pusher and you can push it right past that foot of your machine. Make sure your needle is stayed down, and I can't get this one for some reason. My fingers just are not working well today. Okay, I've got it open. Put your foot back down and continue sewing to the end. Okay. I'm going to open up, and you see our zipper is perfectly aligned with our edges. Okay, so I can close my zipper back. I can open both your sides. You can see your pretty orange zipper right in the middle. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to finish our zipper seam. And what that is, if you see your zipper right here in the middle, these layers, if they're not sewn together where your seams are here, you have a chance of, when you open your zipper, of the lining getting caught in the zipper from the other side. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we fix that. I'm going to switch the camera to the iron. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to press these seams flat. So open it back up. Press your seam. Open it back up. And smooth this down so it's nice and flat. And then you're going to take your iron and iron away from the zipper, like so. Okay? So what that did is it pulled this seam nice and flush and flat. Okay? Do it with both sides. So, and you want to flip it over, and you want to do the same thing with the front side. Try not to hold it on the zipper for a long time, because your zipper is plastic. You don't want to melt it. Okay, so that's nice and flat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back, way out of camera range there. You see that they're nice and flat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to do finishing stitches so your fabric will not get caught in your zipper. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to put it back underneath the zipper foot, and you're going to want to line the very edge, and lower you down here just a little bit, going to want to line your zipper foot right along the edge of that orange fabric, okay? So we're going to line it up just like that, right? So it's just like that. Pop this back on. Put it right there, right to the very edge. Okay. Hold on to your thread tails, lower your needle, and sew a line right up against the very edge of that, right there. If you want to go slow, that's no problem. Whoops. And move your zipper. That's exactly what I was telling you about. You'll get your raise it back up. Close your zipper and continue sewing till the end. Use your needle, cut your thread, and now you can see your nice, clean finishing stitch, the seam all the right. And what that does, good, is it locks this down so that does not get caught. It locks it. There we go. And we're going to turn it around to the other side. Into your thread tail. Zipper. I keep forgetting where my pusher is. Pusher zipper down, push zipper back. Okay. And you have your nice finishing seams right along your zipper. This gives it a nice professional look also. God, having issues here today. Okay. And right along the back, you'll see how nice and finished that looks. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take both of your top layers, bring them together, take where you sewed sewn your seams together, and what you want to do is you want to put a pin right there, so those seams will match up when your bag is complete. Just like that. Then you're going to take, oh, I forgot to show you something. Open that back up. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your zipper is open in this step. If you don't, when you sew your lining together and the outside together, you're not going to be able to turn it right side out. I learned the hard way on that one. So open your zipper. Put this back, pin this back again. Actually clip the thread. Okay. So in this step, what you want to do when you're matching up the lining piece, take this part of your bag and fold the zipper this side. You want it folded down, okay? just like that. Okay, you can put a pin in that. Do the same with the other side, match those up. Fold your edges down. Make sure you don't poke yourself. I've done that way too many times. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do, your pieces will be lined up. It doesn't matter if they're not perfectly straight. Okay, you'll see that it's a little wonky right there. That's okay. Now you're going to want to switch your foot again to your straight stitch foot. Flip it on. Thread through the foot. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do your finishing seam. So you're going to want to leave on the very bottom, you're going to want to leave an opening so you can turn it right side out when your seam is finished. So generally, I do about 2.5 to 3 inches. I like to have a wider space because it makes it easier for me to turn it. So I am going to line it up, and I'm roughly doing a 1/4 inch seam. Okay. Put your needle down, start sewing, and then you're going to want to take your reverse stitch and do a few stitches, and what that's going to do is you're going to lock in your stitch for you. Go all the way to the end, lift your needle. Don't worry about cutting your thread, just kind of like pull it a little, line it right back up, put your needle down. Okay. Now make sure that you're kind of like pulling this a little taut. Hold on to your thread. Okay. So when you get close to your zipper, what you're going to want to do, my machine has this little feature, it has a little button that you're going to push and you're going to lock it in, and that lets you float over the real thick seams. So I'm going to hold that. I'm going to take my pusher. I'm going to push down right on that zipper. Here, show you. Can't even see it. Yeah, you can. There you go. I'm going to take my pusher and I'm going to push down right here and guide that underneath the presser foot. Put you back. There. And go right over that. Sometimes it's a little hard to go through there, so you're going to want to tug it on this side just lightly. And there I'm over the zipper. I can take that pin out. Make sure this is lined up. And sew right down to the very end. Okay, lift your foot. Notice our needle's still down. Put it right back on there. Hold your thread. Now on this side, we're going to sew all the way around it, because this is going to be the outside of your bag. So you're actually sewing the seam completely closed. Right off the edge. Oops, I raised my needle on that one. Didn't really have to. Line it right back up. Hold your thread tail. Okay, so when you get to this point, this is where your seam is, and you can see how it's, what you want to do, take your pusher again, hold that seam down, and guide it right underneath that needle. I can take that pin out. Now on this side, where the zipper on this one, it's just a little more thicker than what this side was. Not sure why. Maybe it's just where the seams are, the way they lined up. Kind of push that down a little. This side's going to be a little easier because our seams are going in the opposite way. When we were on this side, we were sewing towards our seam. On this side, we're sewing away from our seam. Okay, see the way it's laying? So you're going to want to sew up until that edge. Let it get underneath the foot. There's my needle and my hook. Now I'm going to take my pusher again, and I'm going to push down on that just so it gets under there a little better. And it's not, so I'm going to tug just a little bit to get over that hump. Okay, take that pin out, sew all the way to the end again. You can sew right off the edge, raise your needle, leave it down, whichever you prefer. Sometimes I leave it up, sometimes I grab your thread tails again, and again. Now we are back to where we started, right here. This is where you're going to leave your opening, so you can turn it right side out. So sew to right about this point. And make sure reverse stitch, back up, lock your stitches, raise your needle, cut your threads. I like doing a little cleanup at this point. Just nip all your threads. Got them all over me. Cut these ones. Yep. Right there. Right there. Okay. So let me back us away a little bit, and I will show you. Here's your opening. I could have left, from here to here is my opening. I could have left a little bit more room because this will be a little tight. What you're going to want to do, stick your fingers down in there, kind of gather it. What I like to do is I kind of like pinch here where the zipper is. Keep going until I get all the way to the opposite seam. Hook your finger kind of on it and pull it all back through. Sometimes you got to manipulate a little to get it through there. Okay. And what you want to do, take your pusher again, and you're going to want to go to your corners, okay, all the way down to your corner. Lighting's not so great right there. Push it all the way out. Kind of like push your seams out. Get up there where the zipper is. You can see our little zipper tab. Push that out as best you can. Make sure it's all pushed. All the way over here. Push your other corner out. Your seams. Do the same with where the zipper tab is. Sometimes the zipper tab area can be a little feisty with you. Okay, there. Now, where your lining is, where your opening is, push your corners out just like you did for the front. Sounds good. I like getting my fingers in on this part. Okay, so I'm going to grab each corner and I'm going to pop it, just like that. You get that little sound. And what that does is it, where your seam, where you had that opening, you tuck that little thread in there, that's okay. Okay, so you're going to bring the two edges together. I like to finger press them a few times. Okay, just like so. You're going to lay it flat and take it right under your machine. Bring it a little bit closer again. And you're going to want to line your needle about, say, of maybe a 1/16 to an 1/8 right along that, and you're going to sew that close. I like to go anywhere from an inch to a 1/2 inch past the opening on each end, so I ensure that I get that nice and close. And get that back under just a little more. Okay, put it back under there. Right there. That's still a little too far into my liking. You need to kind of like play with it a little bit to put it right where you want it. You want to get it as close to this edge as possible. Now we're going to sew a few stitches. Back stitch to lock your thread. And sew it. Come to your end. Back stitch again to lock your stitches. Lift your needle, cut your thread, trim your end. Any little loose threads you find, go ahead and trim those. Clipper doesn't want to work right now for some reason. Okay, there's another one there. You just want to clean it up a little. Now just back up a little. Tuck it into your bag. Push, kind of like get your corners in there. Get that one in there. Don't like the way that seam kind of like is right there. So what I want to do, I want to kind of push that back up. Kind of work it, kind of like that. Do the same for this side. Your bag all the way. Straighten out lining inside your bag. Put your hand all in there. Get it all nice and neat. I found another stray thread. Close that one off. And there you go. You got a zipper bag. Well, I know this wasn't the best tutorial. If you would like me to make another bag and show you a little bit smoother and not so many camera breaks, please comment below and we can do that again. Thank you for your time. You have a great day. Bye-bye. It is